Welcome everyone to an arena video. I'm Andrea Mengucci, and this video is sponsored to you by Wizards of the Coast and channelfireball.com. Double White Splash is not a splash. I never liked the band deck. In fact, at the Mythic Championship Las Vegas, nobody played that deck. Like, nobody splashed for White Finale, if I'm not mistaken. Ajani is better than Sorin in a lot of spots. I mean, you're talking about which Sorin. Because if you're talking about the 3-mana Sorin, they're totally two different cards, and one is definitely better than the other. If you're talking about the Sorin from Murder Spark, oh yeah, I mean, Sorin from Murder Spark is an unplayable card, so you will always be right. I think I'm gonna play. I think turn 1 is actually better to be Vicious Conquistador, because this does 2 damage, and if our opponent goes for land or elf, we don't give him the chance of trading like we would do with Skymarch Aspirant. Mono Blue seems good to you. I was never. Alright, I guess I got. Yeah, this is the only reason why I should have played the other card. Alright, lesson learned. We should have played Skymarch Aspirant for Knight of the Evil Legion. I've never been a fan of Mono Blue. I think once you know how to sideboard against it, it's not a good deck. I think Mono Blue wins a lot because people don't know how to sideboard. That was the main way to beat it back in the days of where Mono Blue was good. I remember I was playing Sultai, and like once we figured out to board out like the expensive cards and like just board out Vivians and Restless Contempt. And that was just a good matchup post sideboard. Basically, every time I was just approaching the matchup, it would have been a good matchup. Okay, so if I go Mortify here, I don't know if it's that good. I get in for damage, though. They could have a cast down. I think my best play is just attack with all and just play a Dust Legion Zealoth. I don't want to play this Legion in the pre-combat because I can still pump this. But let's see what they do first. Chilling Dino seems decent. I don't know. It's just a deck. It's a stompy deck, Alright, so they're taking this damage, which I'm gonna be fine with because opponent's taking 4 damage this turn. 1 from this and 3 from this. So they'll probably just cast down Midnight. What happened to Niv Mizzet? It's a 6-mana card that you play and pass a turn. It's not. I mean, unless you play with Dive Down, it was never a good card in my opinion. How's the Mythic Championship preparation? It's great. It's great. Honestly, it's very good. So I haven't played this game of Modern, but that doesn't really matter. And I played a lot of Limited, and on Saturday I trophied 4 trophied. I did 5 draft on Modern Horizons, and I trophied 4 of them. So it was, I was pretty happy about it. Okay, so let's see if we draw another 1-drop here. Sorin though, that's good. 3 Teferi, Ether Gust. Yeah, Ether Gust is a good card. Ether Gust is a very good card. Basically, you can't play cards that come into play and don't do anything. That's the thing you can't do anymore. And people start building their deck accordingly, so the Teferi small is not good anymore. But even the Teferi big isn't good anymore. Why not Modern? Oh, I don't enjoy it. At the end of the day, I'm just gonna pick up a deck that's best position for that week. And I've played Magic for a very long time, so I kind of know what to do usually with every deck. I've been playing Humans a lot, even though Humans right now is not great, in my experience. There's just a lot of junk, and the matchup with the new cards have been pretty bad. So I don't know, honestly, I don't know. I played Dredge for a while. I did very well with it, but then, I don't know, people still have like a lot of ley lines around. What's my favorite MH1 draft archetype? White with like what's called Answer Prayers. Answer Prayers is my favorite card in MH1. Phoenix is not a good spot right now. Yeah, I mean Phoenix is fine. It can't be that bad. Is Phoenix done? I mean the Phoenix is a very skill intensive deck. So when you see nobody's playing it, that's because nobody's winning with it. That's because Javier Dominguez is not playing the event. Where Javier, in the last 2 events that Javier played, he made top 8 and won with Izzet Phoenix in Florence and at the PT London. So it's just basically, it's a super skill intensive deck. So nobody can play it. It's like, not nobody can play it, but like not everybody can play it. It's like, it's not something that you go like, oh, you know what, I'm going to play the Phoenix today. No, you can't. Alright. Oh, you're talking about Standard. Sorry. Standard. Interesting. So I'm gonna attack this Gideon now. Standard, yeah. I mean, it's a Phoenix doesn't have any new card. So people kind of just not a fan of playing decks without new cards. Also, Former got very aggressive. Vampires is good against it, so and also Elementals got very aggressive as well, so it could be that. Yeah, I played Bologna yesterday. Very great event. I really enjoy playing Legacy. Basically, what happens with Magic most of the time is the same thing with Esper Hero. Magic is a very skill intensive game, so sometimes you just see decks like not every deck is like Mono Red or like Tron. They're super easy and everybody can pick them up. Some decks are super skill intensive, so if someone doesn't play them, sorry, if someone doesn't win that weekend, it doesn't mean that the deck is not good positioned, but that's because like nobody good is playing that deck, you know. All right, so opponent followed the board pretty well this turn. We do have double sword in our. We spent our turn by killing that thing last turn. I played Legacy in Bologna. If you follow me on Twitter or Instagram, or yeah, you can find all my live, you know, where I'm at. Okay. Okay, let's do this now. Let's soar and kill the Legion's Lieutenant. Sacrifice the Dusky Boy. And then I am going to attack the Soaring Imperious Bloodlord with the Beaches Conquistador and the Gideon with the Skymarch Aspirant. At this point, our opponent, this is the best attack because our opponent needs to trade, and if they trade, our Sorin does not die to their Gideon, okay? Don't you like Mono Blue right now? I was never a fan of Mono Blue. I understand that's cheap and a lot of people owns it, so they would love for it to be good. It could be good right now, honestly. I'm fine with that. But in my experience, whenever I was playing against Mono Blue, I was just always winning because I learned how to sideboard against it, which is to cut the expensive cards and only have super cheap cards. And once you do that, the matchup just gets much better. What about blue-green? I like blue-green like Simic Manipulation. I don't like blue-green Flash or blue-green Nexus. I just basically like, you know, just creature mid-range decks usually that's what I like. Alright, so they went for the Knight of the Ebon Legion and then attack Soaring down to 1 probably. So the Vicious Conquistador can attack through the Ebon Legion. And like the opponent doesn't attack us, so it is just a 2-3. Alright, drew cast down, which is obviously a draw. Target creature you control against +1/+1, yes. And I could even throw away a Sorin to just kill their Gideon. This is not a super bad play if you think about it. Because if you think about it, our opponent's gonna just attack our Sorin, right? So might as well just do it first. Yeah. And we also have a Sorin with 5 loyalties this way. I'm gonna do this, cast down the Knight, and attack Gideon to death. So, you know, it's not great to just waste the Planeswalker, but if you think about it, it wasn't really wasting it. Because because it would have died regardless. When you think about the blue-green Flash, it's a for fun deck in my experience, in my opinion. I don't know, and this is why I hate Gideon. The fact that it doesn't protect himself, like, your opponent just played an empty board and it does nothing, okay? If it was a Johnny, at least it could have reanimated something. Don't just attack my opponent here. If I attack my opponent, they go to 7. Sorry, this deals 6 damage, so they go to 6. And then they probably are dead. See, I think we're gonna just ignore this Gideon here. Gideon doesn't do anything. BBD's Esper plays like a mid-range deck. Yeah, but I don't know, it just plays too many weak cards in my experience. Like, Tyrant's Corn is not a good card, or what's the other one? Elite Garbage is not a good card for me. I understand that Brian wins a lot with it. I'm very happy for him. And for whoever plays the deck, but I'm just not a fan. I was liking Esper Control a lot in the previous format. Right now, there's just too many Planeswalkers floating around. Soaring and the new Chandra just makes the Esper Control deck a little weak. Like, if you listen my stream, you listen to a lot of things that I don't like, okay? Okay? And that doesn't mean that I'm a hater or anything. It just means that before saying something that I like, I really need to practice a lot. Alright? Okay, I like Plague Mare in this matchup. And that's it. We need to cut 3 cards. This is a matchup where I kind of want to be more mid-range, so I'm not going to cut expensive cards. I'm going to cut cheap cards. I could be down in cutting Skymarch Aspirant, honestly. Ooh, that's a huge raid. Whoa. And a subscription, and I don't know why, but there's no... Oh, whatever it is.
That's got to become a meme at some point.
Whoa, a raid and a subscription. That's great. Thank you, Caleb. I didn't have the sounds on, so sorry if you did not hear the wonderful sub meme. And also, we're in the middle of sideboarding, so let's just sideboard as well. All right. Yeah, that's the meme. That's where the meme come from. It's a video of me versus Reed Duke and PT Journey into Nyx. Wow, 3 months in a row, Caleb. That's great. So vampires are what I like the most at the moment. Yes, it is what I like the most at the moment. Good morning, Silva Librarian. I played Silva Library yesterday, though the card did not perform at all, and I ended up cutting it if I'll play the Legacy deck again. I have the best deck in Standard for you. Tell me the best deck in Standard. I can't wait to listen to it. Alright, hopefully your opponent will not pump this guy and my Plague Mare will kill it. I hated Terra's block, but yeah. You hated Terra's block? Yeah, that pity block was awful. In the top 8, there were 7 decks with 4 Caryatid and 4 of the other one, so not great. Alright, yeah, that's great. I just Plague Mar this Adanto Vanguard down. And Plague Mare, it's... I think we're playing 3 just because of these vampires that are floating around these days. Alright, what are we doing here? Maybe I should attack first, but yeah, whatever. I just wanted to click my things. Okay, that's great. So, this is called a Shriek Maw. It's a creature that kills another creature. But yeah, so once again, everybody says thanks to Caleb D for just bringing his 20,000 people. I don't know what format was Caleb playing. I know that he likes Legacy a lot, so definitely like that. Even though I don't like to stream Legacy, I found myself more popular with Standard. But for those of you who like Legacy from Caleb, you should know that I have a channel on Channel Fireball. If you go on YouTube and write Channel Fireball, you'll see a lot of Legacy videos from Mengu. Oh, Caleb was drafting. Nice. Okay, so Sorin is gonna show and tell something into play. We have Mortify here, so hopefully it's not a Champion of Dusk. It's just, whatever, a creature, like a 3-4. Or Vona. No, Vona actually no, because it's not a Vona would have been fine. I'm not a fan of Vona, honestly, I don't like it. Alright, let's Mortify this so I can kill the Sorin. This is a lot of lands. I'm probably gonna lose this game. Like, it doesn't matter how much advantage we got in the early game. We're just floating out, so... Yeah. Same thing with drafting is, yeah, I just get more viewers with Standard. I kind of like to, at the beginning of my streaming career, I kind of like to do the more popular things. I don't actually like drafting. If you find, I did draft in preparation from the Twitch Rivals. I made an article about drafting. If you guys are interested in it, you should check it out. It's basically... I like green decks in M20, and I made like a guide on how to draft like green, blue, and green, red. Hello, Virus. So this is the article if you guys are interested in it. Alright, I don't want to trade the Skymatch Aspirant for a Plague Mare, because next turn I plan on flipping the landing, okay? This can't be blocked by white card. Alright, it's dead, so never mind. But I'm still, like, I'm happy to have not attacked. Could draw the I don't know. Are we only playing vampires today? I don't know, blah blah, something clever. I don't know. If we lose a lot, no, but if we win, yes. And last time I played this deck, I think I've won a lot, so I'm probably gonna stick to it. Right now we're 1-0. I rewatched your semis match from Pro Shadows of Innistrad against Shota. Yes, there was a game. 3-2 against Shota. Whenever you beat Shota is always pretty unreal, right? Alright, we drew a Plague Mare. I think I'm gonna play it. And I'm probably just gonna lose to Vona here. But in the meanwhile, I also want to kill the Sorin. And the Skymarch Aspirant flies now. So we fly over Vona. And yeah, I mean, I would love if opponent would have played Bona where we had Mortify. Instead, they wisely played the Champion of Dusk. How did you do Legacy? You mean yesterday, Disposable Hero? I won the event. I won a Legacy event yesterday. If you go exclamation mark Instagram or Twitter, you find my deck, and usually you find basically whatever happens to me. I use social media very much. How did you do in the? I said that. What do you think about list cutting Something Seeker? I was a fan of Something Seeker. I'm playing 3 right now. I think that play Story -3 Something Seeker is huge, and you should always have access to that. Alright, opponents playing 2 cards that I dislike, both Von and Gideon, but of course, they're playing well against my 7 hands land. My Instagram is Mengucci. That's my nickname. Alright, so Vona is attacking and killing my thing, because this was protection from... No, can be blocked, that's different. Alright, we'll just take step 4. 16 to 13, and I don't know, I think in order to win this game I need to draw like Mortify for the Vona first. Because cast down doesn't work as it's legendary. This is Exile, Destroy. Destroy, so at least I can block with my Skymarch Aspirant. Alright. I don't know why opponent tapped a Vona. It doesn't make much sense here. I guess they didn't want to mid-flip Legion's Landing. Alright, does make sense. How do you feel about the aerialist that flies and gets bigger when you gain life? I tried it at the beginning, like one of my first lists had it, but you actually don't have that many ways to gain life, I found. Like you have Sorin, Sanctum Seeker maybe, and that's basically it. Sure, now the Vampire token. But yeah, it was just a dude that was dying to any strikes, ended up cutting it. How do you feel like the 4-color Ren 6 deck? Oh, I mean, I liked it a lot, yeah. Yeah, I liked it a lot. It was obviously the best deck that was there right there. There was a lot of decks without the card Ren 6, and that would just give me a huge edge. Like usually I split like top 8 or at least top 4, especially when I have to travel like 2 hours to get back home. But that event I just felt like I had a huge edge over the field because people were not playing Ren 6 and I was. So I just was like, I know I can't lose this tournament. I basically came into the tournament knowing that my deck was just so much better than my opponent's deck. Alright, this is a good draw. Alright, let's took down the Gideon. Opponents keep on tapping this, but because they just don't want me to flip the landing, which makes sense. Alright, I have 5 mana, so I'm gonna play this land so I can double pump the knight, even though not sure I need it. But Winter Orb is mainly for miracles. In Italy, there's a lot of miracles deck, very many miracles deck. And Miracles is just the most popular deck in Italy. So I need, whenever I play Pelver, I always have to have at least Winter Orb. What's your favorite card type? I don't know. I don't have a favorite card type. Alright. They probably keep on attacking and killing my knight, which is obviously the play that makes the most sense. Sure. They go to 9 here. 9 to 3. So if I draw a land, I'm basically dead. Asking you is a great draw here. Because this is just another draw and a chump blocker. Alright, so we can attack with both now. Opponent now can't do the thing anymore where they attack and lose 7 life because they only have 5 life. Thoughts on Sultai Dreadhorde? Yeah, I mean, there's no new cards, so people don't play it. It's a solid deck, but I don't know. I mean, it was not good before with Esper around. Sorry, with what is it? Simic Nexus and Izzet Phoenix around. Now maybe those decks get less play. Like Sultai was, I was almost going to play Sultai at the Mythic Championship Cleveland. Sorry, Las Vegas, but ended up playing Esper because Esper was just basically similar matchups as Sultai, but he also was like reasonable against Nexus and Phoenix. All right, so they keep on not making me flip landing. I draw Cast Down. Wow, opponent is just dead. This game is very strange. I don't know why my opponent tapped their Bona. Oh, I guess it's only this turn. That's why they keep on tapping it. Alright, never mind. They're just dead. Pretty cool game here. Alright, I really dislike Bona, by the way. You shouldn't play this card. It's even a mythic from Ixalan blocks, so just don't craft it. Do you use Sylvan Library versus Miracles as well? I do, but I ended up cutting it. I think that right now with Brandon 6... Oh, by the way, should I use... Because I was talking to a bunch of people. Should I use the Mastery thing? Because I haven't bought it yet. I haven't bought it usually because I don't understand what it is. I don't understand what it does to me. What's the best card? What's the best card blue-white decks can play against Grace's control? Back to basics. Just buy it at the end of the season. You can buy it later if you want. You just give more stuff. You almost certainly play enough for it to be good value, unless you have full collection, not of previous set. I mean I play up. I don't play that much. I mean I stream, but oh, I'm playing against the Hall of Famer Jager Vegeshma. Alright, that's too bad. That's probably a bad thing that this deck can just mulligan hands with lands and spells. Usually aggressive decks cannot afford to mulligan hands with lands and spells. Yeah, maybe, it's one of the reasons why Vampire is not particularly good, is that sometimes you have to mulligan hands with like 2 lands, you know? Jager was playing Gizet Phoenix for... I remember playing against him at the PT... I don't know. And he was playing Gizet Phoenix. It was probably... Gizet Ravnica. So this could also be mono blue though. I mean, with this hand, I'm not gonna beat literally any deck. The only deck that I can beat is honestly just Gizet Phoenix. If they stumble, because I mean Gizet Phoenix has a high fail rate. All right, that's dead. Obviously, a curve of turn 1 1 drop, turn 2 1 drop, turn 3 1 drop is not gonna beat any standard deck. Have you seen the 2 vampires from the SCG? Yeah, they're very similar. There's not much to talk about. One plays Ajani, which is a card that I kind of just love and said how great it is. But other than that, the lists are pretty similar. Would you ever make more Pauper videos on Channel Fireball? I really dislike Pauper right now. I think Pauper right now, it's, in my opinion, unplayable. And people play because it's Pauper, and people just think that it's great. But right now, it might be just worse than Modern. So I don't play it right now.
Actually,
Hello, Towumbo.
Look at the look on Reed's face there. You can't quite believe what's happening to him here. That's got to become a meme at some point.
Hello, Towumbo. Welcome to the stream as a subscriber from 5 months. Very nice, very nice. Where's the modder? Yeah, I know, but it is. Like on Thursday, we had this team event, Pauper, Legacy, and Modern, and there were 8 teams, so it was a pretty cool team. It was a pretty cool event, but there was Modern, okay, and sorry, there was Pauper, and like the Pauper seat was basically 4 Trons and like some other clunky deck with like Astrolabe, and everybody went to time. Literally every round, all the Pauper decks went to time, and we even put 60 minutes. We put rounds of an hour, and still people went to time every single time. And like there was a time where a person went to time 1-0. Like the format is just the slower format of all time, but nothing happens. It's just so boring. Everybody plays Astrolabe. It's just like, oh, I don't know. I really dislike it. And I remember liking Pauper, honestly. I remember being like, wow, this format's great. Not anymore. Are you excited for Historic or whatever format is being called? Not really. I think there's just so many formats that I was very tempting in go cast down end of turn, but then opponent could have had shock. Sorry, did spell pierce, and now got punished by drawing Sanctum Seeker. Which of course I can't play it, because if I play it, opponent just adopts Terramander, and it's a 5/5, so I can't attack, okay? So I need to go cast down to play around Spell Pierce here, but this is slightly clunky. Just like, pretty bad use of my mana here. Historic would be a real format in 3. Yeah, I mean, but there's just so many, already. Like, Historic to me is like, those like Omniscience Draft or such, where sure you can play them, but I'd rather just play a real set. Hello, Nagini. If you read on the comments, I said how the picture was taken before the event, and I purchased the missing tropical island. I know that most people are just not a fan of reading, but yeah, that is. That is what happens. Okay, double Sanctum Seeker here. This will probably just put my opponent dead in a couple of turns. There is a Lava Coil in my graveyard. I really hope they don't have another finale. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Alright. So, what would you change from your legacy deck played yesterday? I would change -1 3 Nemesis +1 Leovold in the main deck, and in the sideboard I would cut Sylvan Library for Cindervines and Ancient Grudge for Blue Elemental Blast. This is the change that I would make. 3 changes. 3 small changes. You think historically will play competitively? I don't think so. No, I don't think. I don't think it should ever play competitive, or at least for a while. Like it could, I could see it replacing modern in a long time, but definitely not now. By the way, as I said, do you remember, guys, when I told you that the only deck that we could have ever beat with these hands was Phoenix? Because Phoenix is like has a very high fail rate, and that's exactly what happened. We did basically nothing, and our opponent is very close to die here, which is pretty funny. All right, so I could attack first. They're very likely just chump block because otherwise they would have attacked, right? So it doesn't really make much sense to play this post-combat. I'm just gonna play pre-combat and pump this so that I'm just gonna gain 4 life, okay? Remember, playing against the Hall of Famer, so they're not gonna not attack and then not block, okay? If I was playing against, like, a person I didn't even know the nickname, I would have probably attacked first because there was a chance they wouldn't have blocked. But since I'm playing against, a former pro player, they know what's up. They know, how to play Magic. So if they don't attack, it means that they block the turn after. Because a lot of people don't know that, don't have the knowledge of the fact that if you don't block one turn, you have to block the turn after. Sorry, if you don't attack, you don't have to block. Like there's never a case. I mean, it's very rare when you don't attack and you don't block the turn after. If you don't attack, it means that you want to block. Did you respond to me or someone else? I don't know what you asked me, Duncan Nemesis. Sorry, Dunk means. Can you recommend a standard deck for someone who likes mid-range? Sure. I mean, Sultai and Esper are still solid decks. I don't know, how great they are or anything, but they must be solid decks. Our opponent's on 5. Gonna play a Lieutenant, pump the Sanctum Seeker. I'll probably just put a counter on the Lieutenant so he doesn't die to... Actually, I'm going to attack first. This is a 4-5, so it's all good. I'm going to pump Lieutenant so he doesn't die to Shock. Actually, now this dies to Shock, but they don't have Shock because when I cast the Lieutenant, you saw how the arena just immediately put it into play. So I'll put a counter here, and yeah, opponent's just dead next turn. Having to run no attacks, no blocks always feels so bad when you have to do it, though. Yeah, sometimes you have to do it, though, yeah. Usually that's what happens. Thank you, Lasagna CEO. Alright, they got a Lava Coil, so they could take down my Lieutenant, so they will leave for another turn. Unless I draw a Vampire, in which case this one drains them for 1, and then Sorin just kills them. My opponent is Jäger Viggersma, he's a Hall of Famer. Hall of Famer Jäger Viggersma. Wow, they shoot down my Sanctum Seeker. Alright, that's brutal. I'm very happy. At least I put a counter on the Legion Lieutenant. Alright, let's threaten lethal with this. Unfortunately, I did draw land, but it's okay. Thoughts on Kalia? I don't know. I don't have any thoughts about it. You're welcome, Fiorin. Alright, that's a good drop. Terramander. It's a 5/5 flyer. Opponent's on 4. I draw Danto Vanguard. The question is, do I want to trade with the Lieutenant? I don't think so. I could shoot. No, I don't. I could shoot and then turn after shoot again. That's also a play that I could make, honestly. But I can't really lose this game, honestly. I just can never picture myself losing this game. I could just draw it with red finale. Maybe I could lose that game, but at which point, if I minus and shoot, I would lose even more. So I'm gonna pump the Adanto Vanguard and just pass the turn, hoping they break. Alright, I drew Lava Coil, which punishes me for not having pumped the Lieutenant. But that's okay, the Adanto Vanguard will still be enough to take down the Pteramander next turn, because he gets a counter from the Sorin. So they need to chum block. Good morning, Lagan. Alright, come on, die. Explode the fairy. Yes! Wow, we got this game. Pretty brutal. We did not do much in this game. In the early game, at least. What is your opinion on Esper Hero and BBD's performance? I don't like Esper Hero. I've never liked it. I've never liked Esper Hero. It's a deck that I think it's just a fine mid-range deck, but if you draw cards not in the proper way, just as very mediocre cards. Also, the absence of Kaya's Wrath, I think, makes it very weak to Nissa. I always like Esper Control over Esper Midrange in the previous standard because of Nissa. Nissa decks were just too good against Esper Hero and not very good against Esper Control. Now Esper Control, I think it's bad position because of Sorin and Chandra, the 6-mana Chandra. So you know I quit the Esper Control, but it was obviously the best deck in the previous format. And now, yeah, Esper Midrange, I think, has the same problems. A lot of Nissas around, and I don't know how can that deck beat Nissa. My good friend Javier Dominguez went 0-4 with Esper BBD at the Mox playoff, which of course is a very skill-intensive deck, so winning or losing doesn't mean necessarily that the deck is good or bad, or that BBD is right or wrong. It's just opinions and, you know, those... Okay, so 63 cards. I'm gonna cut some cheap creature. They could have the 3 mana deal 2 damage to everything. I keep on cutting like a bunch of 1-drops. I think I boarded in only 3 duresses. I don't know, the 4th one is probably just only for Nexus. A scarf. Yeah, I did. I even have the scarf emoji. What's the best deck at the moment? There isn't the best deck at the moment. Just like very often in standard. Standard is a very evolving format. The metagame solves basically only at the end. That's usually what happens. Right now there isn't the best deck at all. It's not really a token tech. It's more for the mirror as well. What do you think about Historic, the new format? I don't have any thoughts about it. Looks like it's a format that, like, obviously the answer for how do we deal with rotation on Arena, but other than that, it's gonna be just like that. I think it's gonna be a long time since it will take over the place of Modern or anything else, honestly. Alright, we didn't draw land. If we draw land, the game's just probably over because it goes Sorin. I mean, if you curve out Adanto into Sorin, the game just ends usually. What's the best of one deck? Same answer as before. I don't know. I don't answer. I don't have an answer for you. Before Magic 20 was Esper Control. Right now it isn't. I don't know what Ascot is. Alright, Lava Coil is taking rid of the Knight. Hopefully I draw land there so I can just win the game with Sorin. Can I please draw land? Land? Yes. Alright, now we have the question of
in some cases,
Mr. President.
Look on Reed's face there, he can't quite believe what's happening to him here. That's got to become a meme at some point.
Hello, Mr. President. 2 months in a row. Thank you. Alright, I had the choice here of playing Sorin and putting to play something, which would have been honestly a reasonable choice, since my opponent can now adapt the Pteramander and attack my Sorin. But I think that if they don't have a land, and even if they do play land and adapt this and then kill my Sorin, it's not that bad. Look how ahead I am. I'm so ahead at this point if they do that play. So I think I'm fine with that. Ooh, this is huge. This is huge on the other side. This is a very, very swingy play that I did not expect. from my opponent. What do you think about Sultai Dreadhorde? That's a good deck. It's a good deck for sure. It's pretty bad against Nexus, but other than that, it should be a reasonable deck. Alright, what to do here? The Beacon Bolt kills any of these two if I play them, so I could go Lieutenant, -3 Champion of Dusk, draw cards. I think that is in fact the best play that I can do. I'm playing against Blue-Red Phoenix, one of the, best decks of the recent standard metagame. Which, Entrancing Melody is a sideboard option, and it's a very good one. Champion of the Dusk is one of the best cards in the deck. You draw X cards, you lose X life. The swings that it creates are just huge, because now I just draw 3 cards in the middle of the game. And whenever you play the card called Ancestral Recall, it just swings the game in your favor a lot. Yeah, he stole the Vampire. Should disrupt Terramander with Soaring. I disagree with that play. Whenever you use the second ability of Soaring, it's not great. Also remember, with post sideboard, I still have some removal spell. Good morning. Night. Anything but 0. Okay, so they take down my Soaring. That's fine. It did enough for this game. They go Chart, of course. Interesting. So maybe they have a land, or maybe they're just risking it to find a land for the Beacon Bolt. Alright, so Beacon Bolt is going to take care of the Champion of Dusk, probably. But then these can attack, and Sanctum Seeker can drain. Prime. Buongiorno, buongiorno. Do you have any budget deck list? Not really. Not really, sorry. Okay, so Legion's Lieutenant can't attack. I'm just gonna triple creature here. I'll play that Legion Zealot first, because if I draw Soaring, it might be interesting in playing that. Duress. I think I'm gonna play Duress over Vicious Conquistador, just in case they have another Entrancing Melody. Alright, I'm probably gonna take out this Lightning Strike. And, yeah, I'm just gonna attack for 5. I probably should have just attacked first, because that could now block and lose 4 life. That's the right play to make. But if I'm mana up, maybe they don't want to do that, because let's say they block and lose 4 life, and then have this figure, It's a pretty rough play. But now that I'm tapped out, of course they do it. So I might have missed a point of damage here by just playing Duress pre-combat. Okay, so they have Beacon Bolt in their graveyard. They could use it to kill the Champion of Dusk. They have a 5/5 here, flying. But they are in a reasonably low life total, and I have a Sanctum Seeker in my hand. So they are playing with fire here. This is a very, very close game. A classic is the Phoenix against aggressive deck. If it wasn't for the Entrancing Melody on my Adanto Vanguard, the game would have been super easy, but it isn't. Alright, all they do is this, so now I regret not having played Vicious Conquistador, but if they had the Lightning Strike, they would have just made a different play. Wow, Soaring. Alright, this should be the game, isn't it? No, it isn't. If I attack with all, how do they block? Just block the 3 largest creature, and take 2 down to 4. Do they block the 3 largest creatures? So they can go 4/5 on this, 5/5 on this, and 2/2 on this. It's not that bad, I think. I might just lose something, but they can just, if they miss block, they just die. If I play a Sanctum Seeker, they go to 2. Oh no, wait, they're dead on board, right? They're dead on board. Yeah, they're dead on board. Alright, that's great. They could have a shock on my Lieutenant, but yeah, they are dead on board indeed. Is Liliana Dreadhorde generally good? I mean, it's 6 mana. 6 mana cards are, of course, good once they hit the battlefield. Sometimes just can't deploy, like my opponent and me. None of us has 6 lands. Alright, that's a good performance of the deck. We won 2-0, 2-0 in the first... Actually, we won 2-0, 2-0, 2-0 in the first 3 matches we played. And we are rank up. I haven't played much Standard on Arena, so I'm still in Diamond. Alright, let's open that pack. And can I get a Omnath or a Chandra, please? Temple. That's always sweet. All right. How to take out this red thing here? What's this thing? Sure. Okay. All right. Got rid of the ball there. Play. Yes. Vampires. Let's go. What's the treasure? Basically, whenever you play, you put things into a vault. Like all the cards that you already own, they go into the vault. How to beat... What did you say? How to beat with Sultai? Sorry. The message is not very clear. Alright. And it's solid. Unfortunately, mana base sucks because we're a 2-color deck in standard. 2 colors deck in standard mana base are usually very bad. Like 3 colors mana base are better than 2 colors, funnily enough. That's what we're living in. You think this is the best deck in standard? No, I don't think so. There isn't. I don't have an answer for that question. A lot of people want that answer, but there isn't. Magic the Gathering is not a game with that answer, unfortunately. If you like one of those games where R&D sucks. Magic R&D is insanely good, and it's very hard to find the best deck in standard. Play Teamer. No, I don't play Teamer. I don't think Teamer is particularly good or better than any other deck.
In some cases, look at the look on Reed's face there. He can't quite believe what's happening to him here.
Sleek Serpent.
That's got to become a meme at some point.
Hello, Sleek Serpent. Thank you for the sub. No unclaimed territories. It's actually a reasonable question. I remember I was playing. What I was playing? I was playing a Johnny, and obviously I couldn't play unclaimed territories. I guess I do have Gideon the Black Blade and Plague Mary in the sideboard, so yeah, no unclaimed territory. I stand by that. Alright, Landliner Elf, it's a good, solid start. I'm gonna go with a Dance of Anger, hoping to draw a land next turn. You know how to beat Nexus with Sultai, but I'm not sure it's worth the sideboard slots. I don't know what to answer to that question, because it doesn't say me anything. If you would add some more points, we can discuss, but if you just say that, how can we have a discussion? Opponent cast Waffle, do you counter? Chat, I really don't know what to say to you today. Alright, Rising Reef, it's a great start what my opponent's doing here. Alright, and it's a very bad start what I am doing here. I'm gonna go Dusty Zealoth, hoping to draw Swamp. Or I'm just gonna die here, almost 100%. Yeah, I just have a full house of Knight of the Ebon Legion. Of course, that is not the draw that you want to make, and we're gonna lose this game, almost 100%. I might even just concede next turn, honestly. Man, it's time ago went out in Bologna to dinner with a girl, I think you know. Yeah. Alright, maybe if the missile land drop we could have a game, but I mean, aggressive decks like this have a very high variance, right? They're not like as solid as decks with Jailer Ranger or Rising Reef. I mean, now that I play a Borer Grazer, I feel very sad to lose because I think that this card is stone unplayable. And whenever you put it in your deck, you make a huge mistake. So, you know, losing to this card now makes me feel a little sad, so I'm gonna do my best to win. And my opponent just played, you know, a good card this turn. I would have been super, you know, okay to lose this game. Be like, alright, I lose this game, that's fine, let's go to game 2. But now that I opponent played a Borer Grazer, I really want to put myself all the best in order to win this game. Which unfortunately I still can't really do because it still didn't draw land. Yeah, let's keep on attacking. And I'll probably just take 3 down to 12. Oh. Oof. Alright, come on. Come on, opponent. We're both mana screwed, but this deck plays much better from behind. Because they have Llanowar Elf, Incubation Druid, Rising Reef. Night Pumps for 3. I believe if you use the app Cardboard Live that it's on the screen, Cardboard Live, you can just read what the cards do. Yeah, I'm playing 22 lands. Honestly, I was playing 23 lands. This list is playing 24. Oh, yeah. Pay 4 and the trigger. Yeah, of course, of course. I thought you said pump, pay 3. Alright, that is another unfortunate draw. I'll just play down to Anger and pass. By the way, do you guys like the new app, the Carbo Live app? It's pretty cool. It's a new app. You can't download the decks from there, but I make sure to always have exclamation mark deck if you want to download my deck. To Arena immediately. Which is cool. Trostani, alright, that's enough. Losing to our border grazer sucks, but sometimes it happens. It happens. Alright, what do we want? Yeah. I mean, that's just variance. One land, you don't see the difference. Usually. Alright, I think I'm gonna cut 2 Mortify and board in the Noxious Grasps. I'm gonna board a Dusky Boy. And I don't know if I'm gonna board on anything else. I don't think so. I think Gideon is particularly bad against creatures. The rest is not good. They have a lot of creatures. Plagmar could be reasonable. Honestly, Plagmar is fine against Ladder Elf and Rise of Reef, but I think that's it. So I don't think it's enough to board this card in. Despark and Mortify just remove a spell. I read 4 Noxious Grasp, I don't want more. You need to sideboard in a way to just leave your main deck configuration pretty much similar. If you sideboard in too many creatures, then your deck is garbage. The card I copies the spell being cast. Yeah, sure, yeah. Yeah, Narset Reversal is a card, but I don't think that solves any deck. If they go Reclamation Ooze, you just lose with that card. Have a good work, Jack Django. Alright, sounds great. I'm gonna win this game. I am going to win this game. I have a turn 1 Knight, turn 2 nothing, but that's not a particularly big deal because our curve will be turn 3 Soaring into Champion, turn 4 Sanctum Seeker. This curve is just a beating. I actually just prefer not having a 2-drop and having the guaranteed 3rd land in this hand. Yeah, yes. M20 give a lot of sideboard options, which is obviously great. Sideboard is one of the great things of Magic the Gathering. Even though I did win the only tournament ever held without sideboard, I still stand by the fact that, wow, even drew the 2-drop. It's kind of insane. This curve beats any deck in the format, probably. Will Red even have a playable shell? Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure it will. Mono Red has been a deck for like years and years and years. So Mono Red will always be playable. Alright. Play your elf. In which matchup do you bring in Gideon? Reclamation is good a lot against Reclamation. And it's good against, basically it's good against every deck, any deck without creatures. If a deck doesn't have creatures, Gideon is good. Because Gideon doesn't protect himself, okay? So it's only good if you need to attack. Come on, opponent. Don't make me wait. Alright. Yeah, see, there's always Mono Red playable deck. Alright, I really hope my opponent explodes soon. Because I don't want to wait 10 seconds every time they have priority. That's a good thing of Arena over Magic Online. It's much quicker, but if your opponent plays slow, then you know all the advances from technology just get annihilated. All right. And once you -3 and put a Champion of Dusk into play, the game just, I don't know, just plays just so much card advantage and tempo and like literally everything you can think of. It's very close to just playing Legacy. Of course, you wouldn't play a 4/4, but what we are doing in this game is just very unfair. Very unfair. What we're doing here, like, and Sanctum Secret to top it off, like, the next turn just gonna attack for, probably just dead, I don't know, yeah, with our Border Grazer. This card's so bad, it's unbelievably bad. I always say how Soaring whatever it's called, Bloodlord Vampire or something, is the worst Caddy standard by a mile. Sometimes I forget about Arbora Grazer. This is the worst Caddy standard by a mile. And it has the same problem of Growth Spiral, which is not a card that I hate. If you don't have lands in hand, the card just does nothing. And you can't afford to have a card that half of the time it does literally nothing, okay? And 1 mana 0/3 is not playable in any word. It's in limited mostly, but you know, in standard you can never do it. I could see people playing this card when Thief of Sanity was huge, you know? Ooh, that's cycle. Mono Red 1 starts the game, yes. Yes, I don't really pay too much attention to the first week paper events. I think paper metagame is, you know, usually very much behind to any arena metagame or even Mox playoff or something. So there was a Mox playoff on Saturday. That is the event to look if you are interested in actual, you know, results. And yeah, I don't think Mono Red is. I mean, whatever. Honestly, I've never been a fan of Mono Red, but. Okay, yeah. Let's just hope to draw some lands and win this match. Not really need to sideboard much. Or thoughts on Fetter? I've never been a fan of Fetter. I mean, again, if you hear all the questions, I'm basically answering all the questions again because all the questions are asked me in the early of the stream as well. I say a lot of things I don't like, but not because I'm a hater or anything. Just because with a new standard format every time, a lot of bad decks pop up. And, you know, eventually they do results, because if a lot of bad decks play each other, you know, someone will win. The problem with Fetter, in my opinion, is that if you draw Fetter, the deck is just pretty bad, and you only have 4 Fetter, okay? So, if you don't draw, you just play 2 mana 2/2 with Heroic, or, you know, Dread or the Arcanist, and etc. Alright. What decks do you like? That's the problem, you know, I'm trying new things. Even this vampire deck sometimes is unbeatable. Like in the previous game, this deck was just the best deck ever. But you know, some games you're just a clunky deck with 22 lands and a lot of 1-drops, you know, or 5-drops. So it's weird. It's definitely weird. We're at the beginning of standard, so there's a lot of explore. I'm not a fan of just saying, you know, this is the best deck right now because I don't have an answer. I think that vampires and blue-green manipulation are the 2 best decks right now. But I might be wrong. Okay. I was pretty surprised that nobody played Blue-Green Manipulation. I think Blue-Green Manipulation with the new Hydra that fights really got a good piece, because the problem with Manipulation was that it was falling behind. But it isn't with the new Hydra, because that's both like a Revenus Chupacabra or a huge thing to put into play with Nissa. Alright. I'm playing against an aggressive deck, so I want to keep this Camera Chasper just to curve out. I'm going to bottom an Adantomanger, which is usually a great card, but, you know, I think I'd rather just curve out 1/2. Have you tried John Dinos? Usually I'm not a fan of like green stompy decks. They're, I don't know, they're just... That's basically like a Steel Leaf Champion problem experience. With like, you know, if you play Marauding Raptor on turn 2, maybe the deck is good. But if you curve out, I don't know, just creature, small creature, slightly large creature, it's just not a very good standard curve. Alright, opponent, speaking of good standard curve out perfect. So, you know, we could be in trouble. We could be in trouble now. I'm gonna play Lieutenant because I don't want opponent to trade. Despite this Resident Reef is great, I still think that I'd rather just keep my creature in. Because the way we win here is just by playing... Yeah. This is a very high variance deck. Or the Llanowar Elf deck. Ooh. Alright, we have 4 Noxious Grasp. Let's hope to top deck it. Missed. Alright, Adanto Vanguard can attack through Lyra next turn. With the Lieutenant. So now we're gonna, you know, probably die to Lyra. We do have 4 Noxious Grasp, which is making Lyra worse, of course, as a sideboard option. Because now all the black decks board in 4 Noxious Grasp, which is great against Nissa and Lyra at the same time. Yeah, I hope new set is a good Vampires as well, I agree. Yeah, Vampires has a lot of bad cards, but some busted draw, I agree. Alright, yeah, I'm just gonna play a Sanctum Seeker and probably just pass the turn. I could attack with a Vanguard, but I'm definitely losing the race, so there's no point in attacking. Is that the Scape Shift deck? I don't think so. I think that's Banned Ramp. They have two lands of the same kind. I don't think Scape Shift does play that. Yeah, Grasp and Fry make Lyra bad. I agree. I don't think Lyra's playable anymore. But of course, if you don't draw your answer, you just die to Lyra. At MC Las Vegas, I was playing Lyra in my Esper deck, and I even sideboarded in against Nexus, and I won with it. Against Hammer Andy, who just had a bunch of creatures. Post sideboard, I just played a Lyra, and that was the game. So yeah, Lyra is just it beats every time your opponent tries to race you. You just can never lose a race with Lyra. What is our out here? No Choose Grasp on this. You can easily deal with the tokens, because, you know, we just have large creatures. They can't attack. Once we find No Choose Grasp, we can be fine. The problem is that they also have 2 Rising Reef, and they also 23, so... We need to draw No Choose Grasp first. We have 4 right now, and... Thank you, Brentalol. Alright, let's just play... this... I don't know if I should attack and flip this. Maybe, because I would gain some life. The problem is that I have to attack with a Sanctum Seeker, which that can just triple block. I could have a Lieutenant and just trade with a token instead of the Sanctum Seeker. Yeah, I think I'd rather trade the Lieutenant with a token than a Sanctum Seeker for 2 tokens. I might just not flip this. I should have just played the Lieutenant first, then. Yeah, I guess I made a mistake here. I should have done the other thing. I'm gonna still lose 4 life because that doesn't leave me dead to Lyra if opponent double blocks it. Or maybe it does. I don't know. Whatever. I pass the turn. Any thoughts on Legion's End? I'm not a fan. Alright, that should probably just kill me. They get rid of these and they attack with all. Yeah, I'm dead. Alright, good game. We lost to Lyra, pretty unfortunate, but that's okay.